In today's video, we're talking about 10 players who we need to monitor and the rest of OTAs, minicamp, all the way up until training camp. In this video, we're going to talk about the reasons why we need to monitor these players, because we're talking about camp battles, starting jobs, and how are the young players and the new players looking in the new system. Very important as we get ready to prepare for the 2024 NFL season before that training camp. So let's go. Again, here is the dates that you need to monitor. We just completed week 1 of OTA workouts, but May 29 through 31 is week 2. So we get to see the progression from week 1 to week 2, and then from June 10 to 12, that's week 3 of the OTAs. Minicamp is 4 through 6, and then late July, we have training camp. So really integral towards what's going on. So when I look at the players who I think the Detroit Lions need to look at and monitor here in the OTAs and for us to pay attention to, we're going to start with wide receiver 3. Is it going to be Khalif Raymond, or is it going to be Donovan Peoples-Jones? That wide receiver 3 battle is going to be really, really interesting to watch. Now, personally, I don't care who it's going to be. In all honesty, I think both these players are going to contribute significantly, and does it really matter if you're considered wide receiver or wide receiver 3 or wide receiver 4? Not necessarily, because I think that they're different type of players. Khalif Raymond, he can do it all, but he's a little bit shorter, and Donovan Peoples-Jones, he can do it all, and he's a little bit bigger. And it just really depends the chemistry that Jared Goff has these guys. In all honesty, they're both good. I think they're both going to step up significantly and make an impact. But the question for you right now is, pick a wide receiver 3. Donovan Peoples-Jones, put DPJ if you think he's going to be wide receiver, or KR for Khalif Raymond for him to be wide receiver 3. Next player that we got to be monitoring through OTAs here, minicamp, is Jared Goff. Jared Goff's chemistry with Donovan Peoples-Jones, Jameson Williams, he's already good with Khalif Raymond. He's good with St. Brown and Sam Laporta. But we just got to see how the development happens with those two players and how he can better himself this year. In all honesty, Jared Goff's been excellent, so I don't really know how much better he can be. I guess more command and control. But I think predominantly for me, when I think of Jared Goff, is just the chemistry with the players that he has around, the newer players. And we're already seeing Jameson Williams, him, do great. The connection is there. Donovan Peoples-Jones, Jared Goff was starting to get connected to as well. Can another wide receiver, maybe Isaiah Williams, somehow get some playing time with Jared Goff? So that's what we're going to be monitoring there. And we're going to do quarterback too, right? We know how Hendon Hooker, he's going to be quarterback too, but how is he going to perform? And so far, so good. So we look at the quarterback position. I think we're solid, but still we got some question marks to see. The third, or number 8 player on my list that we're watching here, monitoring, is Jameson Williams. How is he doing in camp? And how is he doing in OTAs? How is he going to get ready for training camp? So far, so great. Right now, Jameson Williams has been the darling of the first week of OTAs. Him and Jared Goff has been excellent. And we just want to see that continue through weeks 2 and 3. And then into the little mini camp that they got going on. If that trend continues, we're in a world of good. Because, look, Josh Reynolds leaves. Who's going to step up? Jameson Williams is stepping up. We went up in the draft to get this guy to step up. And he's doing just that. He received a lot of criticism in his first 2 years as a Detroit Lion, 2.5 years, until him and Goff started getting on the page. He started catching everything. So we just want to see it continue, and that's it. I think it's going to continue, but that's something we got to watch. The number 7 player on my list, or 4 on here, is Terrion Arnold. Again, it's the same with the Carlton Davis here. We want to see the progress of a rookie, though, right? He is our first pick in the draft, and he needs to be a stud immediately, and our coaching staff believes that he can absolutely be a contributor, starting cornerback, just like the rest of the rookies we had last year. Right, all the rookies contributed, and they fully expect Terrion Arnold to be starter week 1. Now, to me, it doesn't really matter if it's 1 or 2, and that's what we've seen in OTAs. We've seen Carlton Davis 1, Terrion Arnold 2, and they both were doing really well. But for Terrion Arnold, look, being a rookie is tough as a cornerback. It's hard to be good immediately. Sauce Gardner did it for the New York Jets, and we've seen times throughout the NFL where, corners like Devin Witherspoon last year was immediately good. So can Terrion Arnold be immediately good? My expectations is I think he'll be good, but I think we all should not jump on Terrion Arnold if he makes rookie mistakes. Why? Because rookies make rookie mistakes. We've seen it. Penei Sewell made rookie mistakes. Aiden Hutchinson made rookie mistakes, right? It's going to happen. We cannot just say, as soon as they make a mistake, this guy's a bust, this guy's trash, this guy's horrible, because these guys are rookies. It takes a little bit of time. It really does. But I think he's going to be solid. I think he's going to be great. So I got a question for you. Will Terrion Arnold start week 1 opposite of Carlton Davis? Y for yes and N for no. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Let's continue on with another 6th player here is Carlton Davis. We're talking about it, but I'm gonna take a different approach here since we've already talked about it. Carlton Davis we traded for him for a 3rd round pick, and he's got 1 year left in his deal. So if Carlton Davis is really doing good in OTAs and in minicamp, could the Lions consider, maybe potentially thinking about a contract? Because what if he's doing really good and then throughout the season he does really good? Do you keep him or do you just go ahead and go with Ennis Rakestraw? So that is going to be a question going forward. And in all honesty, I think Carlton Davis is going to have a pretty good year. I do. I really do. And with that said, though, they may not bring him back. Not because they don't want to bring him back, because you did draft Ennis Rakestraw in the 2nd round. So it could be just one of those deals where you're going to do it 1 year here, you leave, and then the rookie this year will step up next year. Next player on my list, or number 5 here, is Ennis Rakestraw. Again, it's a little bit different take. Want to see how he's going to be implemented into this defense. Right now we're seeing in OTAs that he is the nickel, right? He's coming in there. Amik Robertson and him are playing in the nickel. If that's the case, he's probably going to not be starting. Only you'll see him on defense, maybe in particular situations, because Amik has got the edge. So what else can Ennis do to get some playing time this year? What can he do in OTAs to jump him? And I feel like we can be slow with him, and that's perfectly fine. And again, just like the Terrion Arnold thing, don't rip on him if he's not starting, okay? Because now we're getting a situation where it's hard to start because you got a lot of people, a lot of good players on this football team. Next player on my list, number 4 here, is Donovan Peoples-Jones. Can Donovan Peoples-Jones step up and be that Josh Reynolds type of player, right? Can he start to separate himself in OTAs? Can he take on more duties compared to what he did last year? How is him and Jared Goff getting on the same page? Those are all the questions that we got to be monitoring here and watching in OTAs, and this is a significant one. Again, Josh Reynolds is a big part of this offense, but if Donovan Peoples-Jones can step up, maybe we don't have to worry about getting another player. So that's one of those deals we're going to be monitoring going forward. Next player on my list here is Michael Badgley, and I got to tell you what, folks, Michael Badgley so far has been really good in OTAs. Matter of fact, yesterday, Michael Badgley hit a 60-yard field goal outside. He had a couple 60-yarders he was doing, and he's getting it done. Now, again, Michael Badgley, he knocked that big O kick through the uprights in the playoffs, the 54-yarder, and he's not known for a guy to put up big, gigantic, high-end kicking numbers. But in OTAs, he's doing that right now. So if that's the case, how is this kicking position going to go? Do you still bring in a Jake Bates if he's doing this in OTAs for competition? I say yes. 100% sure you still do that, but doesn't necessarily mean that's something they're going to do. But right now, he's doing good, and that's a good thing. I still would like to have the competition, and I'd like to have Jake Bates come in there, but, if they don't, at least he's showing good progress in OTAs. But again, that's not game. It's not a game, right? You don't have the pressure of winning a game in OTAs. So, you do, but not really. So that's just is what it is. Question for you. How many yards will Jameson Williams have receiving this year? Put a number in the comment section. Any number you want to do. The next player that I have on my list that we got to be watching here is Amik Robertson. Again, a lot of the players here is the secondary because they're all new. If Amik Robertson can hold down that nickel position and be solid immediately, the Lions could have a terrifying secondary. And we haven't heard a whole lot about Amik Robertson so far in OTAs, just that he's doing the nickel, right? And we expected him to do the nickel, so nothing has really changed there. But we got to just see how well this guy adapts himself to this football team early on. We want this secondary that's completely new to grasp this defense quickly because we need this defense to take a step up for Aaron Glenn and to win. So the faster these guys learn, the better the Detroit Lions are. Lastly, and not least here, is injuries. How many injuries do we receive in OTAs in minicamp? Well, we haven't received any sort of injuries except for the injuries that we know of, and they're giving rest right now. Hopefully, throughout OTAs the next couple of weeks and in minicamp, there is no significant injuries. We had injuries last year. Emmanuel Mosley, he was dealing with an injury. So how well is he doing right now? So far, he's running around. He's doing individual drills, not in team drills, but it's looking good. Khalif Raymond, looking good. Brian Branch, he had a operation, but it's not serious. It was a microscopic. James Houston is looking good. So it's all about injuries, right? Can these guys maintain health throughout all these training parts? And if they can, that's great news. We never want to see injuries. Folks, if you're not subscribed to the channel, I suggest you go ahead and do it right now. Subscribe, hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on the latest Lions news and rumors. With that said, folks, adios.